everyone. This is Alex Young. I'm going to provide you here some commentary on my game against Hikaru Nakamura when he came to Toronto. Obviously, it was quite cold outside, but I had to wear my Magnus shirt to troll Hikaru, so I was able to brave the cold. Also, pretty nervous facing such a strong opponent. But anyways, you got to if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. Hikaru's editor was nice enough to send me this footage, so here we go. Started playing a London system pretty recently. I was historically an E4 player. I don't often face the Dutch defense playing to London, so I was a little bit out of my depth here. Thinking about the best plan. Against these type of fianchetto setups, I like to get a battery going with my queen and my bishop. But I decided to push my h-pawn first before I do that. Hikaru plays many openings, so I'm sure he's very comfortable with all this. He chose a Stalingrad Dutch, or Leningrad Dutch rather. Took a little bit of a pause here because I was worried about pawns being pushed in the middle. Probably wasting time and just going ahead and castle. Although I think Hikaru mentioned afterwards that castling wasn't that good because I'm committing myself and Hikaru hasn't already committed himself. Anyways, I just wanted to get my king safe and then proceed. Probably the better play, though, was to put my bishop on h6 before he pushed his pawn there. Because my bishop is sort of running short of squares if he starts pushing pawns at me. Went into a deep think again. Probably bad time management out of the opening, but, get nervous, so what can you do? I don't know what the best move here is. As you'll see, I end up pushing my king to b1. Computer didn't like that. I think it preferred just to develop a center pawn and get my light square bishop out. And now I already feel like I'm under pressure. He's starting to push his pawns at me. My knight, I think my knight's actually okay on a4 if he pushes, but I was a little nervous, so I ended up pushing a3, as you'll see, which is probably bad because you don't want to be pushing pawns in front of the king. And he continues rolling those pawns, which is very scary. And I got to figure out what to do. Or he's going to keep on pushing. I got to get my knight to safety somehow. Yeah, so already something has gone wrong in the opening, I feel. I'm on the defensive. He's the one's attacking. I don't have anything on the king side with my pawns except for the one on h4. That happens when you're facing much stronger opponents. And I get my knight to safety there, but it actually ends up being a problematic knight the rest of the game. I sort of forgot it there, and I didn't end up developing, moving it towards the center as you should. As you know, knight on the rim is dim. So I was basically playing down a piece. I think my logic at the time was that the knight was serving as a protector of the weak c3 square, but I don't know. Once his knight moved out of the center and there was no more threat on c3, I probably should have got my knight into play. Yeah, the computer didn't like Hikaru's c5 move. Probably because it gives my light square bishop some squares and some breathing room. And so I was sort of feeling a little bit optimistic after that move, now that I got my bishop out. Yeah, at this point, I should have probably got my knight on a2 back into the game rather than doing this. Although I was happy to see him retreat here, but I just need to get all my pieces into play. And played f3, so his knight couldn't hop back in, but his knight downs to another square, attacking my bishop. Rather than moving my bishop, I end up deciding to develop my queen, defending the bishop and also threatening the pawn there. He moves his king. And here I go into a deep think. I realize that I'm getting outplayed. It's not dead loss. Obviously, it's losing. So I wanted to complicate the game. So I make this really dubious sack here to get a 2 pawns and potentially the exchange. Computer hates it, but I figured that, I'm playing a stronger player, my position's worse, I'm down on time, so I got to get some complications going. But Hikaru kicks my queen, and he gets a nice little outpost for his knight there, so I'm in rough shape, basically, at this point. Um, I get a little greedy, I guess, and take the exchange. Maybe my bishop was better as a defender with that pawn in the middle, rather than trying to just win an exchange. Now his knights are hopping in, so it's looking pretty grim. It's basically falling apart. I shouldn't let him win my light square bishop there, unfortunately. Here, Hikaru actually, I think he misses a mate in one at some point, maybe a little bit later. But it's all pretty losing. Basically, I was just trying to survive and hope to flag him, but he's quick and the position is abysmal, so not much hope. And just waiting the inevitable. My position's collapsing. Everything's coming on me, and he has a mate in two here. If I take the pawn, he just checks me with the bishop and his mate. Anyways, it was fun.